Two people wandering around the tracks of Europe looking for a podcast that suits their needs. Oli Meggitt and Martin Southall are those two people. With the ability to chat shit about RC cars for less than an hour with their bare hands. The Bench Chassis Podcast, the podcast with no name. Except for that one. This is the Bench Chassis Podcast, and here's Martin with some guest presenter. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, whatever the time is where you are, and welcome to the Bench Chassis Podcast, featuring this week, no Ollie, but you still have got Martin.
So, for the very observant of you, you've probably noticed that something is different already. I've got a new microphone.
Where is Ollie, by the way?
He's gone on holiday, and he's taken all the money from the podcast, and he's run off.
Yeah.
So,
what is it? £2.50 in a packet of crisps.
Packet of crisps, yeah, and a bottle of Coke. So he's taken that, and he's naffed off somewhere with all the money.
Is it a full-size Mars bar or just a fun-size one?
It's definitely a fun-size one. So, as your witty jingles go along the lines of course, you know, the discount Ollie. So what have we got here? Is this the value? We got a value level Ollie, a discount Ollie, and a little Ollie here today?
Yeah, because Ollie is cut price Scotty. So I suppose you could make me discount Dougal.
Discount Dougal, yeah. That's I'm going to stick with discount Dougal.
Well, I'm just trying to think of something that rhymes with Ollie. Golly, I don't know.
No, probably not. Oh, this is gonna be a challenging evening. I can already sense this.
Comment below.
So obviously, you know, we're delighted to have Dougal here, and for most of you that don't know Dougal or do know, he's distributed more life-changing prizes, trademark, than Santa probably has. He's also responsible for all of our jingles. So as Ollie's decided to take all the money and run off for a nice holiday, Dougal's agreed to step in today, and he's going to do some recording with us. So for those that don't know who Dougal is, which was somewhat of a surprise, do tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been racing for probably about 25 years now. I started
racing?
Getting later with the kids. Yeah, racing. I started out it was something to do during the weekday with all my DJ friends, because we was always working of a weekend. So it was one of us, Duncan, who doesn't race anymore, he got us to go along on the South End. No, it's Basildon on a Tuesday night, the Basildon Club, and we started going there, and it just it was something we could all do when we was all working away somewhere on a Friday or Saturday night in our various pubs or clubs. But then we could go and do something together during the week, and that was it, RC racing. And they've all given up. All the other ones have given up. But I still do it.
You still do it?
Don't know why.
Well, fortunately for us and those that don't know, it's a bloody good job you do still do it, because Dougal is a quarter of the dynamic quartet that actually bring us the EWS series. So without Dougal,
it's five of us. It's five of us actually.
Is it five?
Yes,
you, Ollie, Kingy,
Ollie,
Bonnie,
and Coca. So
Coca, five, yeah.
So what's that? A quintet?
A quintet. So you're a fifth of what provides us all with so much of our racing during the winter. And so, well, thank you for that anyway.
Yeah, and of course you're one whatever of your rug race. How many of you rug races? Is it 2?
3.
So you're a third then.
I'm a third, yeah. A third. That rhymes with something else, but it works.
I did think about saying that, but try not to swear.
We'll try not to swear. For those watching on video, you'll probably notice
which is a podcast. We can swear a bit.
We can swear a bit. But for those on the video, you probably noticed we're not in our general usual racing gear tonight. Yeah. Because we're both long-suffering football fans. Today's an important game.
Because as we're recording this, we are the mighty Spurs are facing Chelsea tonight.
Yeah, they are. And if we can get one solitary point,
I know that's
we're enough.
Going down.
Well, unless you win 15-0 at the weekend. What would happen is it's very Spursy. We'd do it tonight, right? We'll get the point tonight, and then we'll lose 8-0 and you'll win 7-0 and stay up.
It could happen.
It could happen.
No, I think West Ham have gone. My soul is prepared, but I mean, my season ticket will probably still be quite expensive.
Oh, that brings me on to an interesting question. So the amount of times that you've bailed out on me or a race meeting on a Sunday and gone, I'm going to go to West Ham today, and I always say to you, every time you're going to regret this, aren't you, Dougal? And then about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, the message comes through. Yep, you were right again. Yep. So, is that 100% success rate on that?
Yeah, pretty much. It's very, very much so.
So So one of us is probably off to watch our teams play at Lincoln next year. So.
Yeah, Lincoln City away.
Oh God. Well,
there could be some people from the good folk of Lincoln could be listening right now. Don't want to upset them. No,
this is true. Yeah, we want to bank those karma points early because we might need the points out of this one as well. But
up the Chelsea.
Yeah, come on, you Spurs. Before we get too far down this football rabbit hole and everyone tunes out, we should probably get back onto what we're here.
We've lost listeners already. I've only been here 10 minutes.
We are right. So this is episode 9 tonight. We do have 3 guests with us. We'll be getting onto that very, very shortly. So bear with us. We'll be right back soon, and stay tuned. This should be a good one.
This is the Bench Chassis Podcast. Let's bring on a guest, shall we?
Hey, so today, great jingles, by the way. Who does your jingles? It's brilliant. Today, we've got 3 guests for the most popular classes in the UK. Mod, stock, front-wheel drive. All 3 are just out of the juniors and pushing at the front of their classes. I'm reading what you've wrote down for me to say, Martin. Is that all right?
That's wonderful. Carry on.
That's okay. Thank you. We're delighted to have with us Dan Robbins, who's 18, Finley Whitelock, who's 17, and Ethan Southall, who's 18 as well. Welcome, boys, and welcome to the Bench Chassis Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
It's okay. You can speak as well. Don't be shy.
Good afternoon.
Or good evening or good morning. We are truly worldwide.
This is international class commentary coming up right now. Okay, so I think what we'll probably do is the best thing to do is let's just get straight into the obvious questions here, and the most keenly one answered is for all the youngsters out there watching is how did you get started in RC? So I'm going to start with Dan, and then we'll just work around between us and see where we go. Do you want to tell us how you got started, Dan?
Yeah, so I got started originally because my dad was into RC model boats. And him and my granddad used to do that quite a lot. And then I got into that, but I wanted something faster. So we went to a local club and we started with GT12, which back then was slower and more easy to drive. And it was just a good beginner club and class to race. So yeah, I started like that.
You spend much time in GT12?
I'm pretty much still doing it as well, on and off. So
is GT12 still a thing? Is it still a thing, GT12?
It is to a point. It's sort of evolving a bit now, but
is it one of those classes that started well and then sort of like it fragmented into about 3 different things like foam and rubber and bits added to your car? It's just, I thought, it did at the club I was at anyway. People just stopped doing it in the end, but obviously it's still a thing.
Yeah, it has sort of slowed down over the years, but it's still going strong like near Northampton and where I am. So there's still good clubs to race at, and Finn's also raced at most of the clubs that I've raced at, so there's still quite a good local.
I suppose you get that because different clubs do have different things, like Basden, it used to be touring cars, but that's just all minis now. And if you want to race a mini, that's where you go there. And I suppose there's other clubs around the country, but different classes, take at different clubs, don't they?
Yeah, it's like also we have Kettering local, and they are always fully booked with MTC, and they have 7 heats of MTC, which is So there is like places like that do take on a class and push it.
So that's given you probably a reasonable springboard into all your other activities, and then, like you said, you wanted to go faster. So is that how we ended up in modified?
A little bit.
Bit of a jump from MTC to mod.
MTC was after mod.
I think because I did GT12 and then I actually went into off-road and two-wheel drive, full drive, 10 scale buggy. And then because that's open, I think I wanted to do like more on-road stuff, but faster than stock racing. So then I went to 12 scale modified, back when it was 6.5, and then it was basically on the lead up to the Worlds in Milton Keynes, and then after the Worlds I didn't really do like much 12 scale after that. But then I went on to touring car.
And that brings you in. So so you've been doing this since, how old was you when you started racing?
So when I started racing I was 6.
6 years old, yeah.
6
Yeah,
6
that's
years
pretty
old.
yeah. But whereas
Lego.
yeah, me too. But then there's Finley over here as well, of course, who's he hasn't been racing since he was 6 years old. I think you've burst onto the scene in around 22, 23. That sound about right?
It was February 2022.
Oh, you remember the date as well. So go on then, talk us through that. How did that happen?
So I got into, again, like Dan does, the GT12 because my dad wanted to get me off the Xbox, basically, because I was just on it all the time. So he done Nitro Off-Road, so he knew that was quite pricey, and he didn't know whether I was going to like RC cars or not. So we went for the GT12, went down to Bedford. That's where I met Dan. Then on 2 club meets, and then I went to a Tamworth National.
So
And that's how I started.
So straight into some GT12 to LMP.
Yeah, I started LMP March or April.
And that took you to touring cars.
Yeah, we done the summer and some of the winter on GT12 and LMP, and then for Christmas 2022, that's when I got my first touring car.
So was that something you wanted to do, or you got pushed towards, or you got? I mean, if you're racing with Dan as well, you probably got edged that way a little bit.
I was really looking forward to it, 'cause I remember turning up to a Bedworth Summer Series, and I just saw the 13.5s go around, and I really liked watching them, so I asked my dad if we can get one.
Oh God, I love 13.5. It's a shame you missed out just on the last one. Was 13.5 open? That was
boosted.
that was a
13
class.
boosted. That was it. I mean, yeah, I suppose it's like mod now, really, isn't it? I suppose it can't be that different. Or mod, maybe a few years ago, I suppose. You get four-turn motors now with like speedos that are ridiculous. So yeah, maybe 13.5 is a bit slower now.
Quite possibly.
Anyway, Ethan, tell me, how did you get to racing?
Well, for me, the early days was quite similar to Dan in the fact that it was through my dad, where he'd take me down to HRCC to just mess around with a GT12. At the start, very little interest really, just kind of messing around, having a laugh.
How old was you then? How old was you?
I was 7.
Okay.
And I think it was my first or second club meet. I was really excited for it. Turned up in my Lightning McQueen tracksuit. And I was watching the cars.
Still got the picture.
At least you wear a Tottenham tracksuit.
These days. But I used to drive the GT12 for a bit, messed around with that. And I think did that for about 1.5, 2 years, until I started seeing the faster cars similar to the others. And I was like, that looks interesting to me. So we then got a 17.5 touring car, took it down. Eastbourne Clubman's was the first time that I went outdoors. And then from there, just kept building up, going faster. Obviously, 13.5. And it was just one day earlier on, it just kind of clicked. And I was actually interested in it and wanted to keep going, keep progressing. And then Frontie came into the picture much later on, probably about 4 years ago now, I'd say. Maybe I started driving Frontie. And then now it's
I'm just trying to think
Frontie
when we started Frontie, because we EWS on a plug. Was the first. I think it was the first to do it in the UK. I'm not sure. I think was we the first to actually do a proper meeting with rules and stuff.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was Rug Races.
Okay. I'm trying to get in there before you.
Oh, sorry about that. You can have it if you want to. Absolutely, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I like to think we progressed it together.
Oh, we absolutely have, I think.
Anyway,
so
what was your first touring car? Anyway, I've meant to ask you. What was the first one?
It was a VBC, I believe.
How about you guys? How about Finley and Dan?
I mean, my first proper touring car was an MI6 Evo.
Okay.
I got a MI8.
Schumachers. They're all on brand, aren't they?
I think they've always been there.
Oh, it's very good. They're trained. They're not media trained.
They are media. So, talking about sort of like, where you've come from to where you are now, that's quite interesting actually. So I had a quick look through results. So, as Dougal said at the top of the hour here, you've all just finished juniors, and there's some pretty impressive results already there. I mean, just looking at the last winter series for your classes, Dan EWS 6th place in modified in that field of drivers is very impressive. Nationals last year was 7th overall in modified. And then Finley, EWS, 2nd this year. Rug Racers, you was also 2nd in stock in both classes, behind the evergreen, formidable Zach Finley. So that's no bad place to be, and in front of some very talented drivers as well. And a good solid 6th place finish as well in the National Championship last year as well, which is probably your strongest set of results so far. So you can show that progression in a very short space of time. The boy, what did you do? You did TC for EWS. You were 6th there in stock. Won Rug Racers in front-wheel drive, and then finished 3rd in the Nationals last year for front-wheel drive. Now, the common denominator, interesting thing between you all here is as well is you've all just missed the ETSA finals in your class. So everybody listening here as well, and you were so close, all of you as well, painfully close. And
yes, I mean, to be fair, to even make a B final at ETS is pretty good going, really.
Yeah, and multiple championships as well. Dan and Finley have both been European junior champions as well. And I've counted this lot. You've got just over 10, 11 junior national titles between you all as well. So if you include me and Dougal in that figure as well, you've still got 11 national titles between you all as well. So, considering, your young age, it's pretty impressive.
Let me just stop you there, young man. I'll have you know that I won the EWS Sportsman's Trophy in 2019 or whatever it was.
I'm just looking around. No one cares.
Thanks, mate.
So you've all been on track of. That's no problem. So you've all. So one of the common key entry classes here was GT12 for all of you, it would seem. And I thought at the time when GT12 was around, it was a fantastic low budget entry class, and the proof is sitting here in front of us as well. Even now you can see GT12. Dan's already alluded to the fact that's changing quite a lot now in the structure. I've seen they're putting GT bodies now on the LMP cars and calling it, was it GT3 or something now, or something similar. Not sure, are you?
Not too sure.
But no. I mean, it's still alive in different guises and still bringing people in, which is great. And I think it's quite interesting as well between this group of drivers as well is none of you all just drive one class. I mean, you're all good in multiple classes. Dan, I mean, you're driving an 8th at the moment. MTC national champion, GT12 national champion, and a modified. I think you've dabbled in front wheel drivers at some point as well. I think that covers most of them, and obviously a bit of buggy in as well. So you like a bit of off road.
I made a ETS A main with front wheel drive at Arena 33.
So there we go. Was that the FT8?
Yeah, it would have been the FT8.
Well, that is impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, same thing we got with Finley as well. LMP. I mean, you've been right at the forefront of LMP this winter as well, considering you've done the absolute minimum counting rounds for winter. But from watching it, you've been right up there as well. And then obviously your touring cars very much out there for everyone to see, and which was also backed up with that really impressive debut at Down as well, and only missing out on making that A by that unfortunate incident from the car just in front on what was effectively the last lap, which was heartbreaking at the time, really, because you worked so well there, and the other boys know how hard Dawn is. Making an A on debut is hard enough. Making a B though is still very, very impressive. So good set of results there between you all. It's quite a glittering portfolio already for such a young age. I think what we'll do is we're going to take a short break there, and then we're going to come back to where we are right now in the current day's racing. So we'll be right back.
Sick and tired of winning constant A final after A final, week in, week out? Then say hello to BQ Racing Products, where RC bits are reassuringly expensive to bolt onto your car to guarantee you that place in the B final. BQ Racing Products, where just being a little bit shit is good enough.
Okay, and we're back. Well, we're going to look at what's going on in the present now, and bring you right up to date with what's going on so far. Dougal.
So yes, Ethan, how do you see the outdoor season going this year? So how do
Well-
you get on the Cotswolds? To start with, I mean, how do you get on there?
Mixed emotions for Cotswolds for me personally. Both of my classes kind of flipped around. So throughout all of practice, my Frontie was going really well, and my touring car was going really badly. But then overnight, managed to change a lot for the touring car. Car was much better for the TC on Sunday. Had really good pace. Unfortunately, I made a mistake on the qualies, which I probably shouldn't have. And in the last one, I collected a car who had made a mistake. Back marker wasn't his fault. Happens in racing, but it was
It
unfortunate
does.
because it meant I could only qualify 10th. I should have been much higher, but the finals somewhat went in my way. Bit messy, but I managed to scrape up to 7th. Frontie just couldn't quite get the same pace on Sunday. Finished second, but obviously no one turns up to finish second.
No, I suppose not. Yeah, second is the first loser after all. But yeah, I mean, what did you think of the Nationals? Like, I'd be interested in what you all think about what's your impression of the Nationals? Are they worth it? Are they worth doing? Are they well run? What do you think? Ethan, you can answer first.
In short, no. For me personally, I prefer indoor racing in general. But the problem is with me, I enjoy the Nationals because it's somewhere where a lot of the best drivers come together. You know you're going to be racing against the best. But the problem that I've got is UK grip doesn't quite match the grip in Europe. I'd much rather go to an ETS because you know you're going to have a better quality track. And it just feels like the publicity is not quite there. There's not much excitement. And it is effectively a club meet, especially less so in TC, but in front-wheel drive, you're turning up and you're only racing one or two people. But I can turn up to my local club and I can race one or two people in front of you as well. I'd say that overall, but it's a long-term thing. I can't see anything that you could just snap your fingers and all of a sudden it's going to be brilliant. But I would say for me is ETS I'd much rather do than Nationals in most occasions.
Yeah, I was just thinking, what about you, Finley? What do you think of the UK outdoor events, really?
Well, touring cars worth it, I'd say, because it's very competitive and stock, as me and Ethan know. Cotswolds is very close between everybody. I haven't done an outdoor ETS. I'm not sure what the grip's like. I can just imagine it's close to carpet. But I enjoy them personally. Hope they bring 13.5 back.
You have to turn up and vote for that. It seems ironic they're both talking about how much they love the Nationals, because we were all at the Cotswolds at about 5 minutes past 8 on Saturday for the opening round, and within like literally by about 7 minutes past 8, these two are standing there going, "God, when do we go back indoors?"
I prefer indoors if I'm honest.
I still do the indoors. Yeah, I'm just outdoors because I have to be. But
How about you, Dan? Would you?
I've done like quite a variety of events across classes, and I think with any sort of national race, you obviously have limitations because we live in the UK with rain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it is probably harder to upkeep a track because of that, I think. So I still think they're like worth attending, and there's like competition in like all the classes. So competition-wise, it's good. Tracks, I think, are getting better than what we have had, but I feel like we can still improve, like Ethan said, on some publicity and stuff like that.
So how do you see the season going for you? Have you set yourself any objectives for this season, Dan? Any what you want to try and get to?
I would like to try and make a podium, because last year I think at Ada I qualified 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
4th. So I feel like I can do it. It's just I'd like to at least get on one podium or qualify on the podium.
So you got some tracks coming up. While we're recording this, we got Stafford coming up this weekend. Opportunity there. And then what was the couple of tracks we got on there? We got West London, Halifax, and Ada. So there's another opportunity for Ada to coming along. Huh?
Stafford always used to be an opportunity because no one went, so you had a good chance of not actually making top 3, even if there's only 2 turned up.
Mate, I could still finish 4th if there was only 3 of us there.
Yeah, no. Stafford always used to be like, a good place to go and get a good result there. It always used to be like because the ones the top boys tended to like drop that round. Used to historically. I mean, it might be different now. It's been a while since I've done a national at Stafford.
I've had a look. The entries, you still got maybe down the lower finals. I think there's a few missing for this weekend, but at the front, the sharp end, all the drivers that you'd expect,
all going.
Yeah, pretty much. If they're all top 10s, top 10, top 15 drivers, they're all there this weekend as well. So the top end, the competition is still there. You're not just turning up and getting a free ride. I think Stafford's a very challenging one because this is the one where the most locals are at that do the national scene as well. So making the A is tough. There's some good drivers.
You do get a lot of Stafford people do the nationals. That's very true. That's a good point.
They do. They have the most. And you look at this weekend. You've got David Hall, Jamie Hall, Andy Robson, Chris Parrott. They're all locals at Stafford as well, and that's there in between everybody else that's vying for those places in the A's. So swinging back around to Cotswolds then, and looking at the stock finals, I think the first leg was. It was a pretty reasonable affair out there. It didn't seem too much. Leg 2 started getting quite interesting between you lot as well. Was a perspective view on how that one was looking, because I know what it looked like from where I was standing on the side of the track as the two drivers that were in that final. How was that going for you?
Are you talking to me?
Oh, either. Both?
Yeah, Finley, go for it.
It was a very, very close battle. There was like 5 people all in a train together. Like, after the top 3 just gapped the rest of us. We were having a good battle, and then me and Ethan both got collected by the same person. But it was still a fun battle. It was very, like I said, very close, very fun.
So what you think? What are you looking for this season? What's your goals? I think I can guess, but
same as Dan, really. I just want to make a podium.
And so who you realistically going to have to beat to do that this year? So the early runners is... Actually, you can tell us. Who do you think are the early runners at the moment in stock?
What do you mean?
Who have you got to beat to get on the podium?
Yeah, you got to beat.
Well, James, Zach and Andy were very, very quick at Cotswold, so I assume I just got to up my game and try and close the gap.
And how do you do that?
Quite a bit of testing. Go to the track way too many times before a national. Hope it doesn't rain.
Zach has got a new car, so he's learning all over again with a new car. So if you're going to beat him, this year is probably the time to do it.
People have been saying that for years.
Yeah,
he's very, very talented. Doesn't tend to matter what car he's driving.
No, that's true. He could probably race around in a Tamiya and still beat everybody.
Well, yeah.
Actually, Intrend. I mean, it's weird because the MI10 is a lovely, great car, but it's weird how they managed to retro design the Tamiya sound into it.
Tamiya sound?
Yeah, we listening to them going round. It sounds like Tamiya.
Your headphone's not working. Well, actually, I think that's a nice segue into the next question I was going to ask, of course. So you've been in racing for a while now, and the paths that you've taken into it. But Dan is actually he works for Schumacher. He does. He's one of the people that actually works on the design of Schumacher. So he hasn't just obviously given you your hobby at the moment. It's given you your job, and you're an apprentice there, are you?
Yeah, I do a degree apprenticeship in engineering, So
what's the long-term goal there? To stay in the industry or just get your engineering background?
A bit of both. Get the engineering background to stay in the industry. Because you always need to push forwards in the RC industry. Everyone's creating new ideas, new products. So you need to understand the basics to push that.
Have you got a specific platform you're working on, or are you working across all the platforms? Have you had input to the MI10?
Not so much on-road at the moment, but I do a bit of everything. I'm not really shy of doing anything, and sometimes certain people are better at certain things. So, as we're like a small business and we're not that big, we have to sort of utilize everyone in the best way possible.
Must be great to work, have a job in your hobbies. Was pretty the dream, actually. I would have thought, to work in your hobby is great.
Yeah, it starts as a dream, but then obviously your working and your hobby is the same thing, so it can create carnage, let's say. But you sort of like learn to deal with that, I think, as you grow older anyway. So, but yeah, it's definitely a good thing, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great because Matthew's working there as well, isn't he? Young Matthew, he's a racer as well. His dad got him into racing. So yeah, no, it's great to see people working in the hobby,
And Ben Smith as well. He's there as well, isn't he? I know he's on the off road, but we don't predominantly cover off road there, and it's worth pointing out that even as the manufacturers, they're investing in the youth as well. So there's opportunities coming there, and good luck to you. It's nice to see so many people that turn a hobby, obviously passionate about, into a job as well, because that's always tough to do. So, where are we on the racing? So we've kind of looked at who we got to do, who we're going to be. Oh, Ethan, I suppose it's the same question, yeah. You've got two classes to cover, yeah.
Right, so in regards to what I want to do this season, Frontie, of course, I want to win. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is for Frontie for me. For TC, I've not really got a set objective that I want to reach. There's no like specific position that I'll be happy. I've just spent a bit of time kind of lingering outside the box. I just want to push into the top 5, be competitive. If I can make every A and get a few good results, then I'll be happy, to be honest.
Fair enough. Do you not struggle to do 2? I mean, me being an old gear, I can't. I did 2 classes at dawn, and I won't lie, I struggled. So, do you guys struggle to do 2 classes when you do multiple classes, one each week in and week out? Do you struggle to transition between them?
I think when you're doing 2 in the same day, the only hard part is working on the cars, because if you're making a lot of changes, then it's a massive pain. But when I've got my dad to help me mechanic, then it becomes a lot easier. But in the way of switching between driving,
he loves doing it. He loves it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
but
I'm no good at driving it.
When you're switching, when you're driving, it's pretty much you kind of drive out the first lap, remember what you're driving, and just crack on, really.
I thought that was quite funny there, actually. You sort of both Dad and Finn kind of laughed, and he said, how does he manage it during the day? And I'm guessing that's probably because, we all sit in the same pit area as well. What normally happens is Ethan comes back in with one of the cars. It's like, we've got to do this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And there's me trying to pull my hair out and trying to pull apart 2 cars.
Does he throw it at you? Does he throw it at you?
No, because it would be the last thing he ever did. But, when you come strolling back in and you go, that's it, we want to change chassis to another one. And it's like, yeah, because we've got time to do that. Things get a little bit stressful quickly.
How about you, Dan? When you do all them classes you do you struggle to do switch between the 2?
Yeah, it's a bit different because I tend to do most of my mechanicing myself now.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't really touch anything to do with the cars, but I know that
is that your choice or his?
I think it's mutual.
Okay.
Yeah. I think as well, because if you work on your own car, yeah, you're going to be more busy, but you also understand what the car does better. So as a driver, you can learn from that.
Yeah.
So I take it from that sort of side. Not that I don't want my dad to work on my car, just I get a better understanding of it. And like Ethan and Martin said, if you're busy, like if you're struggling for time and you need that extra help, I know my dad will be able to help me, but I try and just push through on my own because then I know that it's done. I don't know. I just know that it's done, and I get quite not over. I don't overthink it, but I have to make sure it's right. If that makes sense.
So, Finley, I've seen you with the spanner in your hand a lot more on the track side now, but we know your dad's capable because, he impressively changed the chassis at Ada last year between qualifying rounds and got the car ready. So does he still jump in occasionally to help out trackside for you?
Yeah, if there's something I would take too long doing in between rounds, like if it was changing the lower arms or like the shims under the lower arms, I'd just get him to do it because I know he's quicker. I can do them, but just it takes me a lot more time than it does for him.
That's another way of saying he can't be asked.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, we know Ross is quick, right? Because Ross was our pit man when we did the endurance race last year at Colchester, and that man could change a battery and a set of tyres in it was like just under a minute and a bit. It was ridiculously quick. So I can believe he does that. So when you're leading up to the events, Finn, do you prepare your race cars for that, or did your dad do that?
I do have to get reminded to do them quite a bit. It's not that I don't want to. I just completely forget. I've got quite a bad memory for that, but he hassles me, but I do sometimes do it.
Something along the lines of get the bloody cars done or you ain't going racing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where have I heard that before?
Do you prep Ethan's cars, or do Ethan prep his own cars?
You want to answer that?
Most of the time, my dad will do it.
I know that for well. We was talking. We was making sure that it all worked last night, and he showed me his table full of cars.
I will sometimes, like for example, when we've got ATS coming up straight after the national, then I'll help out for things like that. But my dad just does things better.
He loves doing it. He might moan, but he loves doing it.
That's all I've got. I mean, it's my hobby. He's only the driver.
Yeah.
That's the easy part, right?
I wish I had one of those.
What, a mechanic or ability to drive?
Both would be great. Some talent.
Oh, God, dear.
Actually, just Stafford is the only place I've ever finished last.
Well, the opportunity's knocked. Are you there this weekend?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going this weekend. I'm washing my hair.
Fair enough. Getting ready for next week. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no. To be fair, I'm going to Appledorn next week, so I didn't really want to, break the car and give myself. I'm at work Monday, Tuesday, so I didn't want to give myself like a rush to fix it. If I broke it, which is likely.
Okay. That seems like a good place to take a short break there. So we'll be right back.
Be right back. Be right back.
This is the Ben Chassis Podcast. An hour of your life you're not going to get back.
Hey, welcome back. That jingle bloke, is very, very good. How much do you pay him, by the way, Martin?
The whole budget. I think it was a fun-sized Mars bar.
Thanks, and a packet of crisps.
And a cheeky
I
spell.
didn't even get a branded Red Bull. It was like, the Granite Xhaka one that cost about 10p a can.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can give you a cheeky little cois.
Thanks very much.
My pleasure.
Anyway, welcome back. We're going to go through now long-term goals. So, Dan, what's your long-term look at? Do you any other classes you want to try? Any other things you'd like to do in the RC? I mean, obviously you're working in RC, so it's a bit different. But any other classes you think that are trying, or any other nationals or events that you'd like to go and do?
I'd love to try 8th scale Nitro on-road, personally.
Yeah.
That to me looks so fun, but just having the time to do it with everything else I'm doing. I don't really have many racing goals. I just go there, have fun, try my best, and try and
you are where
do
you are.
as good as I can with what I've got, basically.
So when you say that, it's good to hear that at your age that you are still having fun. Does it change that it's now your job as well? Does he feel any different when you're at the track in that sense?
It probably does feel different, but at the same time, I think it makes me more motivated to help people and be more kinder to other racers. Because I feel like in RC racing as a whole, it's so easy to get hung up on stuff. So it's quite nice because it makes me want to be more professional and help people and just make everyone enjoy themselves more.
And that picture on your wall right above your head, I recognise the car, that's yours, right? But where are we? Is that ETS?
Yeah, that would be Dawn.
That would be Dawn. And you had the picture blown up.
Oh, sorry. There's a chicane onto the street. Not last year, the year before.
Oh, the fast switchbacks just before
Yeah.
you came on. Yeah, someone got a car destroyed there from memory, but we won't name names there. But that was a mess.
Was that Billy?
It was Billy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
And Bailey Graves, or was it one of the Graves? Was it? I can't remember now. I think it was.
Yeah.
That's not. There you go. I did not remember that.
I don't know. I mean, you can't even remember what part we're supposed to be doing next. So, I mean, let alone you remember what happened a year and a bit ago.
And I cut out. I'm sorry if I disappeared, but I did have a brown out there.
You've had a brown out.
I do apologise.
Fair enough. So, Finn, what are you looking for? Long-term goals? Other classes? Anything you want to achieve? Well,
Same as Dan, I'd love to try a 8th on road nitro or electric, because electric just looks mental. I've only driven it on a VRC and they're quite interesting.
bit of VRC. Do you do any VRC, Dan?
Yeah, I used to do it with Finn quite a lot.
I thought we only did that during lockdown.
No. Someone does a lot of VRC, don't they?
Do you do it, Ethan? VRC?
Yeah. Doing that. Double.
I thought it was just a lockdown thing. I didn't think it was still going on. I think you can race MB models as well, I think, on there.
Yeah. So you say obviously you're talking about when you say about the big 8s, you mean those like big 8th GT cars? Oh, did you see them at Halifax? Because we was all up there for the Euros, wasn't we? They were mental quick. I mean, that's the quickest thing. That's the quickest thing I've ever seen down the track. And Nigel Philpotts probably had the fastest car in a straight line. Then the corners arrived and problems occurred at that point. But yeah, that's the one I've always fancied to go with as well. But yeah, because the on-road, the Nitro, the World Championships are coming up shortly as well, aren't they? We have some very good representation in that with Alex Thurston and Kyle Branson. Maybe you should have a chat with Alex, see if he'll loan you a car.
Just had ENS as well, haven't they, just recently?
They have last weekend or the weekend before. Yeah, weekend before ENS. Yeah, and they both.
I think Oli was there.
He was there commentating. Yeah, he was indeed at the start of that part of the season. Any other goals or anything you fancy a look out there, Finn?
8th off-road nitro.
Yeah, I've done that for a couple of years. I love that.
It's fun on VRC.
Isn't a certain manufacturer working on one of those right now?
No comment.
God, it's on brand. That's the point. Yeah, Schumacher don't make one, so there must be one in the pipeline, surely.
What about you?
I mean,
oh no, go on, stay with Dad. Sorry, Karen.
Michael has been posting a bit on his own social media, so I'm sure you could find out if you wanted to know.
Is that electric and gas?
It probably will be.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll have to bleep that out.
Maybe. We won't. What about you, Ethan?
I'd definitely like to try 12 scale at some point. Problem is, there's not really a whole lot of places, but maybe this winter, double.
You got to be northern. You got to be northern to do 12 scale, I think.
Or very southern. We'll yeah, I'll definitely give that a crack at some point. Similarly to Dan, to be honest, way of goals, sky's the limit. If you set yourself something, then you'll be satisfied if you get there. But if you're never satisfied, you want to keep getting better. So obviously it'd be nice to make some ETSA finals throughout the days, but pretty much what Dan said, just keep driving, keep enjoying it, and just see where it ends up.
Do you all still enjoy racing?
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good news. It's great to hear.
You have to audibly acknowledge as well, Finn. He just nodding the head. Doesn't work for everyone that's listening on while they're driving along. They shouldn't be watching YouTube in their cars and paying attention to this, of course.
It's good fun, except when it rains.
So,
yes.
What about the thing in the future, like enticing people in? Because I remember I was watching the Pop Along RC guys. And they said, there was all this chat about we must get the kids in. We've got to get the kids. It's all about the kids. But I don't agree with that. I don't know what you think. Is it? It should be more their dads that they've got to focus on rather than their kids. Do you know? What do you think? Finley, go. Finn, you go first. Go on. Sorry, mate.
I'd agree saying the dads, because my dad got me into racing. So
yeah.
if the kid has no one to kind of show them where to go and what to do, they just start from nowhere. It's going to be a lot harder to start off racing.
Dan, what do you think?
Obviously, me, Finn, and Ethan all have dads that basically got us into it. But there's also a lot of financial backing as well at the same time. So I think it is probably more targeted towards the parents. But I think
It's
still
true. I mean,
important to-
there's a couple of great kids that are racing. I'm not going to name names, but they've stopped racing now because they've hit an age where they've got to fund themselves, and dad's not doing it anymore. And then a couple of them actually given up racing, on the face of it. So, yeah, it's just, I think they're focusing the wrong thing. It should be about the dads, I think, and the not rather than just go and get kids, because a kid will turn up at a racetrack. And you probably get scared that you've got to spend like thousands of pounds to be competitive.
Yeah, nationally we are still producing drivers though, and if you look at the nationals from last year, I did do this earlier, and it was still the same as it was. We're still averaging like over 10% of our drivers are junior drivers at national level as well. And I can only attest to what I see at my own club, that we've got a very strong junior contingent that are coming through as well right now, and then we've got all those drivers that are in between, and then we've got these boys here that are just finished with juniors as well. So probably inadvertently, without realising it, you realise you are role models for a lot of these drivers as well. There are these young drivers that do look up to you as well, so how you conduct yourselves.
Lots of young kids that do the mini classes at Basildon. There's quite a few kids down there doing the minis and stuff like that. That's when they all start out.
Yeah, exactly. So youth's important, and youth can, given the right conditions, flourish. And you don't have to be at the front to be enjoying racing, as me and Du can attest to. You can do it at any age, and there's plenty of young drivers as well that are poodling around. They're having a great time doing it. So
I'm just saying, and also it's not for everybody. I've got two boys. They're in their 20s now, but they have raced, but they didn't show much interest in doing it. So, it's always not for everybody.
No, it isn't. But there's more youth out there than people want to see. But you have to remember, most of them, if you're 13 years old, you don't have a Facebook account, which is where all of us old duffers post everything. Because
it's all about Insta or TikTok.
Yeah, these boys. If you didn't do RC racing, would you have Facebook accounts?
No.
No, it's very much Facebook is where old people go.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the reach. Is Facebook is really useful. It's got good reach for RC. So, all right. Let's talk about, we're still looking towards the future as well. And what events, we've talked about the classes and things like that you'd like to try and do and what you try and achieve. Are there any events, maybe you've already doing something this year as well, but any events in the future that you'd really like to attend? I'm going to start with Finn on that one.
I'd like to do a touring car Euros. I'm not doing the next one, but maybe in a couple years' time. Yeah. I know I might be doing Master Foam and an ETS next year on the indoors. But other than that, I think TRTC is too hot. I could not race in that heat.
But it's bloody hot out there.
Yeah. I struggle to go on a holiday to Florida, let alone race in that heat.
Right, to have a haircut, mate. I go Dougal, you get rid of your hair, and that gets rid of some of the heat.
I'd love to do a TRTC.
Yeah, me too. But I've been. Have you been to Thailand?
Not legally, no.
Oh. I don't want to know what that means. Let's not talk about that on a live broadcast, because this is going to be committed to the internet now. I don't want the internet police starting to have words with us because we've said naughty words that have upset people.
No, I'm not sworn. I've been good.
Not yet.
Sorry. Anyway, Dan, what about you? Any events you want to go to? Try.
Obviously I did Neolands this year, so I'd like to do that again because that was a great event with 8 off-road. As far as on-road is like going, I'd like to do a Worlds, I think, for touring car. Obviously not. We don't know the situation currently with the touring car Worlds, but maybe the next one,
wherever it may be.
Yeah, wherever it may be.
Yeah.
But I'd like to do touring car Worlds for sure.
Ethan, how about yourself? What would you like to do? Anything? Any events on your bucket list?
Pretty much the default bucket list events. TRTC, obviously, as Finn said, it'd be painful to racing because of the heat. But I feel like it's one that you want to tick off at some point. And
they do have air-conditioned rooms, I believe, so you could have one of those.
But you got to try and make it through 5 minutes without melting first. Then, as Dan said, awards would be great to do. And then besides that, just continuing with ETS, going to the best tracks in Europe, just ticking more and more off the list, really.
I'll tell you what, no one mentioned EWS, so that's you're not getting in this winter. Sorry.
We all literally have the shirt for that already.
I'm joking. You can always do rug races.
Nah, do EWS instead. You didn't do much racing indoors this winter, did you, Dan, other than EWS?
Not really. It comes back to that conversation earlier where working and hobbies mixing together. I just felt like I needed time away from it to come back stronger.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've got more motivation now and energy to push harder than before.
Well, I suppose that is the downside of doing your hobby as your job as well. It's pretty hard to switch off between the two of a weekend as well, you know? It's probably, you get that?
Yeah, I mean, your weekend is kind of your work. But at the same time, I still enjoy it, so...
Important to try and keep that love and to take them breaks. And we've talked about that with Elliot recently as well. So that's a good inspiration to do that. Here's the interesting one. I'm going to start with you, Dan. You can break this one down for me more. So you've been racing since you were 6 years old. So what advice would you give the younger version of yourself, other than listen to your dad more often?
Probably not listen to your dad more often. No, I would say track time is everything, and just have fun. Quite simply, because if you're not having fun, you're not going to want to do it. And if you're having fun, you're going to want to put more effort into it. You're going to want to drive more, and that's just going to make you better. We said when my dad met Finn for the first time, we said the same thing to him. And look where Finn is.
You can carry on. One of you.
I would just say, don't overwork yourself trying to get somewhere that you're not going to get straight away, because nobody zooms straight, or at least most people don't zoom straight to the top straight away. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time. And
I remember you was crap. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Well, no, I mean, you say that, but I won't put the pictures up because neither of them will remember it. But Ethan and Dan used to be doing some barrier durability testing in GT12 at rug races when they were like 8 years old. And at that point, you're kind of looking at them going around the track thinking, at least they're enjoying the hobby. But then like they both said earlier, at some point, it just clicked.
How about you, Finn? What would your advice you give to your younger self?
Probably work on the car more.
Yes.
Just the last year or so, I've worked more on it. I just understand more and know what to change.
Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy working on the car yourself more?
Not really.
No. No, that's the only bit I like is the rebuilding of the car. It's, I actually do my own durability testing on the car when I've
just putting screws in it.
I like building the kits, but it's just the maintaining it is just I either forget or just don't really want to do it. But if you get it done, it'll help a lot. So
yes,
it'd be interesting because you guys at the thick end, and it's something I'd like to know. Do you rebuild your car after every national, after every big race? Do you rebuild the whole thing? Dan, you go first. Sorry.
It depends on what I think the upcoming events are. If it's just club racing, then I'd probably not leave it, but only do the minimal amount until the next national, and then the next national before it starts, completely strip the car and rebuild it.
Yeah.
But if there is like another big race, so like in the winter season, you have EWS MRUG races, I'll probably not fully rebuild the car, but at least check on bearings and stuff like that and make sure everything's good as far as I can see.
How about you, Finn?
It normally gets rebuilt, stripped down completely after every national, because we test before going to a national, so we get a brand new, clean everything service just before the test days, and then the week before the national it gets stripped down again.
Okay. How about you, Ethan? Does your dad do it?
Yeah, but it's the same thing in relation to big events. If there's a big event coming up, then it's going to be more necessary than if you just got a club meet. Pretty similar to what Dan said for the most part.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that is accurate. All the way back to the chassis plates, pretty much, for a national. You know, that's the one.
Yeah,
you're preparing all.
We're running steel chassis now, aren't we? So it's they don't tend to bend as much as the alley ones.
It's not so much that, but like Dan said, it's all the drivetrain. You want to be checking all your bearings are free. You want to make sure your drive shafts don't have grit in them. You know, all your shocks need to be rebuilt. You know, you don't want air and things like that in them as well. Just make sure everything's clean and free in the drivetrain. Release the tension from the car, that kind of thing. If you're not going to do the full rebuild, that's, for my thoughts, probably the bare minimum you want to be doing, really.
I suppose it's like the car can be as best as it can be, and and if you don't do well, then it's you, not the car.
These are all drivers. I'm sure every time it ever goes wrong, they blame the bloody car. Drivers' excuses.
It's different because in stock as well, I think there's less wear than in modified. So you may, like Ethan may have their cars rebuilt, but maybe there's not so much like replacing parts, it's more just upkeep. Whereas in modified, it might be more replacing parts than like rebuilding stuff, if that makes sense.
And belts. You do a lot of belts in mod, don't you?
Belts, even spur gears to a point, they can get damaged just by running.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
And definitely the bearings in the drivetrain.
Yeah, hub bearings or spool or diff bearings. Even like lay shaft bearings.
Yeah, I remember from when he did modified as well, and that was basically every national. They were new bearings on every point of the car and belts because they were just modified would crucify him. But that's the nature of the beast. There's a lot of power going through it, right? And you don't want to fail for a £3 bearing after you spend so much money to go to a race and prepare and all the meticulous planning that goes in before it. It's just not worth it. You know, it's national level racing, so prepare a national level car. Okay, I think we'll take a short break there and then we'll be right back.
This is the Bent Chassis Podcast, and now let's talk about something else.
Okay, and we are back, and
we've had
a good amount of time with the boys today, so I thought we thought this would be best. There's got one more question that we wanted to put by you all, and you've probably given this one a bit of thought. I hope you have anyway. But for those listening out there as well, for your specific classes, and we brought you on to talk about your specific classes today, which is obviously Dan for modified, Finley for stock, and Ethan front wheel drive. So, in your specific classes, what young drivers out there do you think we should be keeping an eye on for the future? Dan, over to you.
Well, there's definitely Andrea, because he's obviously was really quick at the Euros top scale, and he's obviously going to carry that forwards. And I feel like once you have a good result like that, you get more momentum behind you as well. So he's definitely one to look out for the future.
He's obviously following in good company as well. He's also a junior European champion in LMP as well, following straight behind you boys that have done LMP as well. So, yeah, good solid shout, that one. Yes, Phil.
It's got to be Frankie Fletcher. It has to be. It was at Rug Races round 3. It was like every round he was only like less than half a second off Billy's best lap. Compared to like last year when he was Frontie, and then first season with touring car, he just got quicker and quicker.
He also beat Dad at the last round of EWS.
He did.
And he beat me at Cotswolds as well. and I've got to be honest, one of the finals I may have hit him.
You're going to hell for that.
And he came out afterwards and like, you hit my car. And I felt very, very small. He was on, you hit me. I'm very sorry, but I was trying my best not to.
Well, when there's no talent.
Thanks, mate.
That's all right, no problem. Use the brakes.
Don't know what they are. As you know.
Yes, I do.
Sorry, we went off there. Sorry, Ethan.
It's hard to pinpoint people so early because obviously different people kind of develop at different points. Sometimes people just, as I said earlier, just click and then crack on, get that one big result, and then start getting momentum, motivation. But if I was to name a few, I'd say obviously Frankie's doubled in Frontie a bit, and if he continues to pick that up at some point, he'll be right up there. Other ones, Finley Staniford at Stevenage, he's been getting better and better. Very big developments early on as well. So they're the names that I'd say now. But at the same time, I wouldn't count anybody out because you never know when someone's going to take that next step sharp on the big stage, and it's just that one little thing that'll get the ball rolling.
I think an honourable mention to Chloe as well, because Chloe's getting a lot better out as the years go on as well. She's greatly improving.
Chloe Snashall.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Very good driver. Very friendly.
Yeah, absolutely. And James as well. Young James is. I think does he work at Schumacher? I believe as well. So he's doing all right.
No, he doesn't work.
It doesn't work there. But
oh no, he did. He's. Does he have a senior moment? No, he did. He knew his work experience there, I think.
Not that I'm
Anyway, poor old Dougal.
Did he buy a car?
He bought a car, yeah. Do you know this was going so well? And we've literally got to the last 2 minutes, and Dougal's come. He's literally done a special. This was that was such a car crash. That reminded me of that time at Norwich, mate, when you and me were driving trucks down the straight, leaning on each other, full left and full right, to see where we ended up.
Sorry about that.
That's quite all right. Well, I think this has been. That seems like a really good place to leave this, and I just want to thank all of our guests. Dan, Finley, and Ethan.
Thanks, guys,
for joining us today. You've just shown that at young ages what you've achieved so far, and what you want to achieve in the future. Well done to all of you. It's been a pleasure. Obviously, I've only seen Finley progress over the last 3 to 4 years onto that national scene and exploded out at the front. And then obviously, Dan and my son have been racing together since they were both so young. So seeing them come from bashing into everything to where they're going now. And thank you to Dougal for being here as well, who I still see weekly bashing into absolutely everything and showing no sign of improvement whatsoever. So thank you guys for all being here today. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for having us.
Dougal, take us to the bridge, sir. Thank you for being here, mate, and thank you for standing in for Oli. If Customs managed to, the international police Interpol managed to bring him back so he can answer for his crimes of stealing all our money and running away, then he should be back on the show in a few weeks' time.
Absolutely, and thanks for having me. I didn't swear. The James Snazzle moment, maybe I'll write that one down. So I'll take it all. But thanks anyway. Thanks for having me. And maybe one day you'll have me back.
Oh, we look forward to that. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next show. Listen for the new jingles. And that's been episode 9. Boys to Men, I think we'll call this one. Thank you very much. And we'll see you all trackside soon. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Fast laps, clean lines, that's how we go. Thanks for tuning in to the Bench SC on Road Podcast Show.